TV land. Watch it all.
Quite a day for us, eh, Professor? Imagine, great author and adventurer Nicodemus Legend coming to live right here in Sheridan.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, it's quite a day.
This could do for us what the Alamo did for San Antonio. Of course, they did have a massacre down there, but oh, I think that adds to the tourist value of the place, don't you?
Yes, massacres do get your attention.
Ah, the Glover Brothers. The Glover Brothers intend on opening a Legend Wax Museum. They bought that statue from a cigar store up in Denver. Best they could do on short notice. A little turpentine and you'll never even see the war paint.
Yes, it's a remarkable resemblance.
It isn't. It isn't too. It can't be. Look at him. Maybe he was in a fight. Did anyone ever tell you you look just like the man in this?
My name is Ernest Pratt. Unlike your Mr. Legend there, I was once a promising writer of books.
There's the stage! All right, like we practiced, only better. Up tempo. Come on, come on. Welcome to Sheridan, folks, the new home of the great Nicodemus Legend. You'll see our Legend memorabilia shop right on Front Street. Commemorative scarves marked out. All right. Tonight only, the Oddfellows and Rebecca's living statues recreation of the Battle at the Brill Farm. Admission 10 cents. How are you? Where's Mr. Legend?
He jumped out at the Buffalo Head Saloon.
No, pardon me, Mayor. I'll take care of it. I'm sure Nicodemus just stopped to freshen up. It's just disgraceful.
It's disgusting, too. You see the streets in this town? Legend stuff everywhere. You'd think P.T. Barnum was running the place.
Talking about you. These people have rolled out the red carpet expecting to see Nicodemus Legend. And look at you.
Well, the eastbound accommodations on the Union Pacific just aren't what they used to be. And again, I could have been in a cattle car, I don't recall.
Oh, I'd have to sneak you into the hotel to make you presentable.
To whom am I being presented?
There they are!
Oh, wonderful! Your grand reception in an alley behind the saloon.
Mr. Legend, are you ill?
Oh, just a slight headache from the rugged trip. Tone down the orchestra a tad.
Mr. Legend was just telling me that he is traveling incognito. Oh. He is undercover on a case. Shh. Of course.
Chamberlain Brown, Mayor Pro Tem, among other things. Mr. Legend, I would like to give you your official welcome to the town of Sheridan.
Thank you.
We had a key made up. Unfortunately, it got lost in freight somewhere east of Cheyenne.
So did I.
Hey, is Mr. Nicodemus Legend back here?
Mr. Legend is working undercover today, okay? Incognito as well. Name's Amos White, Mr. Legend. Owner, editor, and publisher of Sheridan Weekly Trumpet. Thought you might want to see this right away. To Mr. Nicodemus Legend, have decided to turn myself in and pay for my crimes. Will surrender only to Legend in person. Signed, J.B. Siringo.
Just who is this Siringo fella?
The most notorious bank robber in the West.
On his last job, he killed the guard in cold blood.
No, thank you. No.
Took $250,000 from the Midland Merchants Bank in Tucson.
Well, you wire him back and say, shame on you. And I'm not available.
But we can't do that, Mr. Legend. Nobody knows where Jim's hid out.
Bartok.
If it's not too much trouble, could you work in a massacre this time?
Sit tight. Legend will be right back.
And now another retromercial from TV Land.
Have another Nutter Butter Peanut Butter Sandwich cookie?
How can I have another Nutter Butter Peanut Butter Sandwich cookie when I haven't had any yet?
Oh, yes. Here. Well, they're absolutely great from Nabisco. Crunchy peanut-shaped cookie outside, creamy peanut butter filling inside.
They're very good. May I have another Nutter Butter Peanut Butter Sandwich cookie, please?
Have another Nutter Butter Peanut Butter Sandwich cookie.
They're from Nabisco.
Another fine retromercial brought to you by TV Land.
TV Land is a happy land, peaceful and tranquil, but unfortunately it is not immune to criminal activity. Thank goodness for TV Land's Crime Stoppers. Every weekend, TV Land combs its vast television vault for the toughest tin shields, the savviest spies, and the most daring detectives to give you 2 hours of classic crime fighting and seldom seen series. Watch TV Land's Crime Stoppers this Saturday and Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, only in TV Land.
In 1976, did you know who you were?
I'm like deformed.
Neither did Vivian.
It's not normal to move every 3 months.
It's normal in some cultures. Nomads, they move.
Slums of Beverly Hills, rated R. Now playing, coming soon to a theater near you.
Guess what the kids call Dad's easy chair?
The stinky chair.
Now there's a way to get bad smells out of fabrics for good. It's called Febreze. It's new, and you won't believe how many places you'll find to spray it. See, Febreze helps clean fabrics in a way you never could before.
And it's not just covering one smell with another.
Just spray Febreze. Its patented cleaning system finds the smells trapped in fabrics and gently cleans them away as it dries. Once it's dry, the smell's gone. Febreze cleans bad smells out of fabrics for good.
Febreze, check the Montreal.
The Emmy, television's highest honor. And all this month, TV Land pays special tribute with 16 unique Emmy box sets. From our vast television library, we've gathered the shows that won Emmy Awards and brought them together for your viewing pleasure. Every weekend, see 4 different collections with Best Actors, Best Series, Best Directing, Best Writing. All in all, the best television from the past 50 years. Watch an all-new Emmy box set today at 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific.
And now back to Legend as TV Land goes west.
Double size, corner view, and the indoor privy's right next door.
Thank you, Skeeter.
Yes, sir. A pleasure, sir. If you need anything else, just throw something out the window. I'll be right up.
I'd feel more comfortable if you were at the compound, away from the temptations of Main Street.
Au contraire, my friend. A writer needs distraction once in a while.
What you need is to consider just who you are.
Who I am is Ernest Pratt. And Ernest Pratt is wise enough not to get caught in a crossfire between bank detectives and a ruthless bandit killer.
Yes, but Nicodemus Legend belongs in the crossfire. He thrives on it.
Legend thrives only in the pages of these books.
Not anymore.
I don't believe it. You're starting to sound like everybody else in this town. You know me. You know I'm not Nicodemus Legend. What's wrong with you people?
They're proud of you.
Oh, please. I suppose you believe in Santa Claus, too.
I do. Millions of people do. And every year, Santa Claus delivers.
Ah. Professor, I've been thinking all this business through. You know, my contract with E.C. Allen calls for 5 Legend books a year.
Yes, and for you to live here and to work with me.
So, I'll nose around. I'll cook up some stories. You supply the technical whiz-bangs. We'll have some laughs. I'll write some books. I'll make some money. But I am not, mind you, not going to run around pretending to be something I'm not.
You say that as if you thought you actually had a choice.
I like to think it's still my life.
No. It is theirs. You gave it to them. The minute you put pen to paper, the minute you put your picture on the cover of your books, they own your life now.
Nah, that was not part of the contract.
You'll see.
See what? What are you talking about? What does that mean?
It means you'll see.
What do you need, Mr. Legend?
It's Pratt!
Play row in a row. Dodge with the house.
Money down. Here we go.
Old Forester, my good man. A full bottle and a clean glass.
I beg your pardon?
Whiskey? That stuff is for sale, isn't it? Or is this some kind of whiskey museum?
Well, it's for sale, Mr. Legend, but I can't sell it to you.
Why not?
Everybody knows Nicodemus Legend doesn't drink.
What's your name, friend?
Lamar.
You a married man, Lamar?
Only 19 years.
All right. Then there must be something in your life that you don't want your wife to know about.
She sure does hate it when I chew my toenails.
Sounds like a woman of quality, Lamar. Don't you ever lose her. But you see, to a writer, the reader of his book is like a wife. And there are a couple of small things in my life that I don't want my wife to know about.
It would be bad for business if people saw me give you hard liquor.
Got any coffee?
I just put up a pot of tea.
Lamar. You take that cup, fill it with bourbon, I'll pay full price. We'll call it tea. No one will know the difference, and I'll be a happy man. Gentlemen, mind if I take this seat?
Mr. Legend, we're playing for real money here.
What a coincidence. Brought some of that along. What are we playing, gents?
I'm late for dinner. Gotta go.
Everybody knows you don't gamble, Mr. Legend. Why, Preacher Cullen would condemn them to hell just for dealing you into a game for gumdrops.
Condemn them to hell?
Mr. Legend, Roscoe Barnes, Chief of Security, Midland Merchant Bank, Tucson. I'll be providing security for you at the surrender site on Saturday. Now, we need to discuss.
Hold on there, Roscoe. Surrender site. What surrender site?
Gentleman Jim Siringo's.
Oh, sorry. I believe I have a personal appearance that day at a wedding. Could be a hanging, I don't recall.
Well, you'll have to rearrange your schedule.
Oh, I wish I could, but my publisher himself, Mr. E.C. Allen, arranges my schedule. It's out of my hands.
In that case, there's no problem, because Mr. Allen has pledged your full cooperation with law enforcement efforts.
He has. Well, of course, I always cooperate. It's the participate part that could be the problem.
As I said, there's no problem. Mr. Allen said that you would be in Tucson for the surrender.
He said that, did he? Well, must be a switch in public relations strategy. You see, I generally have a policy against doing personal appearances with notorious killers. It's a small quirk of mine.
Well, I guarantee you'll be in no personal danger. I'll have 100 guns on Siringo. If he so much as blinks out of rhythm, he'll be dead.
You'll shoot him?
Repeatedly.
While I'm standing next to him?
He killed one of my guards, Mr. Legend, and I promise you he will not have the chance to hurt anybody else ever again. Now, will you be needing transportation to Tucson?
No, thank you. I'll make my own arrangements.
Nicodemus Legend.
I generally don't do private signings, sir. If you'd like to check with the souvenir shop around the corner, I'm sure they could accommodate you.
My name's Siringo. Folks around here like to call me Gentleman Jim Siringo.
Sit tight. Legend will be right back.
Direct from TV Land, it's time for a 60-second sitcom.
All's well, it's just a happy ending. So concise, so nice, it's all so swell, and ends so well with All's Well.
All's Well is brought to you today by Flexner's Ear Polish, because people notice. Now it's time for the show.
Goodbye, Mr. Winslow, and thanks again.
Oh, what a relief.
Oh, that rascal knew all along.
But if we're not going to have to move, then we're not going to have to finish all the... You know what? I don't want any more pie.
Nor do I, Missy. Nor do I.
This has been a TV Land production.
Whenever you log on, say, "Take me to TV Land."
Okay, who had the double stack? Partner?
Breakfast at your place may never be the same.
Orders up!
Because now Eggo's making pancakes.
Here you go, Bright Eyes.
Golden, fluffy pancakes that turn your microwave into a griddle. For a taste too good to let go any day of the week.
Who are they?
Truckers.
New Eggo Pancakes makes every house a pancake house.
We all love the sun, but everyone needs daily, year-round UV protection. Dermatologists recommend one moisturizer more than any other to help protect you from UV damage. Daily UV Protectant Lotion from Oil of Olay, proven to help you look younger.
Guess what? I love to play Finders Keepers. I find the right shampoo, I keep my color. Thanks to Color Vive Shampoo by L'Oreal. Now here comes the science bit. Concentrate.
Color Vive is formulated with a UV filter to protect and revitalize every strand.
That's why my color stays truer, longer, my hair healthier. With Color Vive by L'Oreal. And I'm worth it.
It's the 1998 MTV Video Music Awards.
With live performances by
Madonna, Beastie Boys, Brandy and Monica, Dave Matthews Band, Backstreet Boys, Master P, the Brian Setzer Orchestra, and Will Smith, Mariah Carey, Puff Daddy, Mace, Beck, Tori Amos, Steven Tyler, Joe Perry, Hanson, Natalie Imbruglia, Sarah McLachlan, and more. The 1998 MTV Video Music Awards, hosted by Ben Stiller, live Thursday at 8, 7 Central.
And now back to Legend as TV Land goes west.
I didn't kill anyone, Mr. Legend. I'm a bank robber. And I'm proud to say a damn good one. Nobody needs to get hurt if you know what you're doing.
Yes. Well, I'm sure the marshal will be fascinated by your side of the story.
They say I killed a guard. You know how folks feel about a man that kills a badge? I reckon I'll never get a fair trial. That's why I'm coming to you.
Mr. Siringo, Jim, I am a writer of stories. That's all I am. The kind of help you need, I can't give.
This ain't no different than what you did for the Payson twins in Amarillo.
Double Shadows? You read that book?
I read all the Western dimes, and I'm glad to say yours are the best. Ned Buntline wouldn't know which end of a mule to feed.
Well, I'm becoming increasingly sympathetic to your cause, sir.
I don't have to tell you what the name Nicodemus Legend means around these parts. But I don't think you know what the name Gentleman Jim Siringo means to the folks around here either. See, Mr. Legend, they know I only steal from insured banks and not from the customers. They also know that I'm willing to share my good fortune with those in need. And until now, they knew I'd never hurt anybody. Someone's trying to take away my good name.
Any idea who?
Nope. But I figure between now and Saturday, you might be able to find something out. There weren't no shots fired while I was in that bank. It wasn't until I got outside that I heard a gunfire.
There must have been witnesses.
All the witnesses say I did it. They also say that I stole $250,000. I couldn't make that much money if I robbed every bank in Arizona, Mr. Legend. There was only $10,000 in that vault. And that's the God's truth. I'm just asking you to investigate it for yourself. See, I believe in you, Legend. And I'm willing to turn myself in and save my good name. So long as I know that Nicodemus Legend is on the case. See you Saturday.
You know, I have to admit, the world looks a lot better from up here.
Well, I knew that once you'd settled in and had a chance to think things through, you'd be glad to get back into action again.
Glad to be back? I've been coerced. I'm surrounded. My publisher commits my services to the bank, and Siringo, well, he did something that I find completely unforgivable.
He put his life into your hands?
Exactly. I hate that.
Keep us on the same course.
No, I've sent Legend on a lot of investigations, but never old Ernie Pratt. No, sir. I'm not sure he's up to it.
Well, he was up to it the last time. And remember, you have the power of the Bartok Research Facility behind you.
Always a comfort.
You know, Ernest, I think that this little adventure is going to be good for Legend. And besides, it might help some of the problems that we've noticed in your last few books.
What? What problems?
Ramos will explain. Ramos, my excellent scientific associate, he also has studied literature at Harvard.
Oh, well, do tell, Ramos.
I was mentioning to the professor that your later books were a bit predictable.
Yes, well, my audience has grown to expect a certain value for their dime.
Yes, but unpredictability is something that you need. Ernest, a man who does not have adventure in his heart cannot write adventure books.
Yes, well, keep in mind, if the hero dies, the adventure is over.
Oh, don't worry. We'll be right behind you.
Yet another comfort.
It's an honor to have you here in Tucson, but Mr. Legend, we weren't expecting you until Saturday.
I don't like to begin a case unless I'm completely conversant with all the particulars, Roscoe. Now, could you tell me where the unfortunate guard was located when he was shot? Rest his soul.
Right there, on his knees, getting off the floor.
Would you mind assuming the position for us?
And where was Siringo?
At the door, about to leave. Mr. Legend, I don't understand.
Bear with me, Roscoe. Bear with me. Now, could you tell me, from your perspective, what you saw?
We came out of the office, Mr. Winslow and I. Everybody was face down on the floor, but just as Siringo was about to leave with the money, young Phillips, our security man, got to his knees and went for his gun. Jim shot him dead and ran out.
Could you gentlemen stand where you were that day? Please? Fine. Now, is this approximately how Mr. Siringo was holding his gun?
Yes.
Would you hold this, please? All right, now, according to the autopsy report, the bullet entered the chest right here, just above the second rib. The deceased was 178 centimeters. You're what? You're about 180 centimeters, I think. Here, would you put this... Lift up your arm. There we go. Once you have determined the trajectory, it's really quite easy to be able to track the bullet to its final destination. So, since we know from the autopsy report that the bullet passed right through the body, the bullet should be just about here. Oh, that's... It's really quite curious. It isn't here.
What is he talking about? Tracking bullets?
The science of forensics, gentlemen. Perhaps you read how I used forensics to solve the mystery of the Feather Creek Stalker. Perhaps not.
What does science have to do with the murder I saw with my own eyes?
It is possible, sir, that you did not see what you thought you were seeing. Why, there's a magician friend of mine in San Francisco who had me convinced that he was sawing in half a half-naked woman. Nearly brought my heart to a stop. For you see, that young lady was a dear friend. But of course, I was not seeing what I thought I saw. Why, as a matter of fact, the young lady and I shared a cup of tea afterwards, and she didn't spring a single leak. Huh.
I know what I saw.
Mr. Legend, I assure you, we saw Siringo shoot young Phillips. Now, is there anything else we can do to help?
Just one more thing, Mr. Winslow. $250,000 is a lot of money for a bank this size. Why, I wouldn't imagine you could hold more than, oh, say, 10,000?
This bank is the depository for most of the business interests of this part of Arizona.
No slight intended. Gentlemen, good day.
knows about the money. If he knew about the money, he wouldn't be asking questions like this. He'd be talking to a bank examiner.
Then what is he up to?
I don't know. But I promise you, after we kill Syringo on Saturday, nobody's gonna care. And if Nicodemus Legend wants to get in the way, he'll just have to die there too.
Sit tight. Legend will be right back.
Please stand by for a TV Land retromercial. And action.
We used to call Fred king of the crabgrass diggers. Then he dug Mustang 66. Mustang swept him out of the ordinary. Here in the cockpit, bucket seats, sporty steering wheel, 5-dial instrument cluster are standard. With Mustang options like front disc brakes, a stereosonic tape player, 289 cubic inch Cobra V8. Fred soared to new heights into the wild blue yonder of adventure. We call him Fred, ace of all aces now. Is there no stopping him? Not in any Mustang for 66.
You've just experienced a TV Land retromercial.
Could a 16th century French philosopher see the future? Startling new evidence shows that Nostradamus prophesied the coming of TV Land. Consider this passage.
A religious leader disguised in the form of a woman shall blame the arch-fiend.
The devil made me do it.
Could he have meant Flip Wilson? What about this passage?
The military of a new nation shall seek the orbit of the moon, but will release havoc from a bottle.
Ginny! Ginny!
Or this?
There will be 3 sons, but the 3 shall be 4 with the coming of Ernie.
Hey, no kidding?
And perhaps the most incredible stanza that proves that Nostradamus saw the future.
And a great land shall rise up, and the multitude shall ask to be taken there, and shall be, some by cable, others by satellite, when they say, take me to TV Land.
Rice aroni, the San Francisco treat. A flavor that is sure to please. Rice aroni, the San Francisco treat.
You know, the last I looked, the average workday lasts more than a few hours, right?
Right.
But average pain relievers may work for a few hours, then quit. Well, now there's Aleve. Aleve's the one with the strength to work on arthritis pain all day long with just 2 pills. It would take 8 Tylenol to do that. So, if your pain reliever isn't putting in a full day's work,
Fire it.
fire it and take Aleve. 2 pills, all day relief. Works for me.
After a long day of driving cattle, plowing the North 40, and beating up bad guys, the only thing the good people of Dodge City enjoy more than drinking a good beer is buying a beer for someone else.
Come on over to Long Branch, we'll buy a beer. Yeah, come on, we'll buy a beer.
I'm buying the beer. Can I buy you a beer?
I'm buying a beer, and I'll buy 2.
I'll buy you all the beer you can drink.
So tune in next for the Old West and a free beer, only on...
And now back to Legend as TV Land goes west.
Yes. Here we go. Oh, gosh. We found him, Alice. Don't you want to see?
No. I'll stay out here and stand guard. In case there's a problem with security or something.
Why would they be guarding dead people?
Because they may have read Edgar Poe as I did as a child. For years afterwards, I had to sleep with a burning candle in my room. Of course, I don't need it as much anymore.
His internal organs have been removed.
Oh, what do you need?
His liver.
We really do need you, Ernest.
What?
Would you scare up his liver, please?
And his heart.
Oh, and his heart.
think just last week she could have been reading one of my books.
Oh, yes, Ernest. They all live to worship you.
The rear wound is slightly higher than the front.
Tell me, Ramos, how is it you know so much about medical examination?
He studied medicine at Harvard for a year.
Of course. Silly me. I believe I found his organs. A telltale heart. I remember it well. I had to sleep in Mother Pratt's room for a week. Nevermore.
Ah, yes. The bullet track definitely expands from the rear to the front. There's no question about it. This man was shot in the back.
Could the coroner have mistaken an entrance wound for an exit wound?
Possibly, if he weren't paying attention.
Or if he were paid not to pay attention.
Well, in either case, it just proves that Gentleman Jim could not have done it. All the witnesses place him in front of the victim.
In the back? That's impossible. We've got the forensic evidence to prove it.
I don't know much about your forensic science, Mr. Legend. Frankly, it could work better in a book than in a court of law. But we'll give it all a look once Jim's behind bars.
My only concern is that he make it there alive.
Here he comes.
Get ready to get us out of here.
The gun pointed at me. You're taking me hostage.
Ah! Hold your fire! He's taking Nicodemus Legend hostage!
We should be safe here for a while. Mrs. Yancey owns the place. She's like a mother to me.
Maybe you should have written more often, huh?
Mrs. Yancey, it's me, Jimmy Siringo!
Jimmy? Is that you? I owe everything to Gentleman Jim Siringo. Yes, sir. When my husband died, the bank foreclosed on the ranch. Gentleman Jim gave me the money to buy the deed.
I took it from the bank that held the paper. I figured Miss Yancey needed it more than they did.
Sounds like you took your inspiration from another thief in history.
Robin Hood?
Joaquin Murrieta. Do they always have to be English?
None of this Gentleman Jim thing ever would have happened if it wasn't for my horse.
Your horse?
I never did set out to become Gentleman Jim Siringo. Hell, 10 years ago, I was nothing but a brawling, gambling thief. One day, I was riding like hell on a getaway from a Dodge bank. All of a sudden, I look up, and there's this lady crossing the street with her baby. I had no time to react. Next thing I know, my horse, he just pulls up for a second. By the time we get going again, lady was already across the street, safely out of harm's way.
Excuse me, I need to use one of your bullets, just for a moment.
Anyway, by the time I got to Denver, folks was already talking about it. Only the story changed a little bit. They were saying how I got down off my horse and helped the lady across the street. And then by the time I got to Santa Fe, story changed again. Only this time folks were saying how I gave all the money that I stole to the lady for the child's education. None of it was true, though. So, all because of that horse, folks took to calling me Gentleman Jim. And I found that I liked it. Because they started looking at me different. Treating me with respect. Instead of looking at me with disgust and fear like they always did. So I figure, why stay a lost soul if I can become somebody entirely new?
Somebody your audience wanted you to be.
Like I said, Mr. Legend, my name has come to mean a lot to me, just as I know your name's come to mean a lot to you.
Well, now, this is the situation. The chemical composition of the bullet that was taken out of your shoulder and the one that killed the bank guard are identical, and they do not match the bullet that was pulled out of your belt.
I don't understand. What's the difference?
These have traces of bismuth and antimony. This one, yours, is pure lead. These are government issue.
Wait a minute. Why would the bank want to kill one of its own security men?
In my book, if it were my book, it'd have something to do with that missing money, the $250,000.
Stealing that much money from a small frontier bank, it would have to take place over a period of time. Months, even.
Embezzlement.
Well, if one of the honest security agents found out about it, like young Phillips, perhaps.
They could use the robbery as an opportunity to silence him permanently while still providing an explanation for the missing funds.
Well, gentlemen, the only place to find evidence, if there is any, is in that vault.
I guess that means I'm gonna have to teach you boys how to rob a bank.
Sit tight. Legend will be right back.
Look, Martians!
Jumpin' Jupiter!
Welcome to our planet. You must be thirsty after your long voyage. Yes, have some refreshments.
Gee, thanks.
On behalf of planet Earth, we gladly accept your hospitality. This tastes just like TWIP.
You know a TWIP? Hey, what do you know, TWIP?
Fascinating. You Earthlings are more advanced than we imagined.
I'd like to propose a toast to intergalactic relations.
Zip, zing, blip.
Drink your TWIP.
TWIP. It's out of this world, and it's available only in TV Land.
TV Land. Everything you need.
Someone's been sneaking my Milano cookies.
The baby? Would she know how to savor every moment?
The finest dark chocolate. 2 exquisite cookies. Milano, one of the distinctive cookies from Pepperidge Farm. Oh yeah, they're that good.
I'm a big kid, look what I can do. I can make a garden grow like a big kid too.
Hey, big kid, look who's on Pull-Up's training pants. Minnie Mouse. Looks just like big kid underwear, so you'll want to wear them.
Mommy, wow! I'm a big kid now.
Chocolate milk? This isn't ordinary chocolate milk, it's rich chocolate Ovaltine. Compare the labels. It's got vitamins. Nestle Quick has none. When it comes to nutrition, Ovaltine beats Quick, hands down. For us, it's rich chocolate Ovaltine.
More Ovaltine, please!
This Saturday, TV Land brings you the marathon miracle we call Vertivision. It's TV Land's programming breakthrough, a remarkable system that stacks shows vertically. Vertivision. With TV Land's Vertivision, you can watch episode after episode of your favorite show all in a row. So watch Rhoda in Vertivision. This Saturday at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, only in TV Land. And now back to Legend as TV Land goes west.
The safe we want is in Winslow's office.
We're gonna blow it wide open with a whole bunch of dynamite.
Dynamite will come now.
What's the problem?
Well, it's been done. It's loud. It's bulky. This is not just a bank robbery. This is an opportunity to advance the science of bank robberies.
Mr. Legend, I've been working with dynamite for 10 years now.
Yes. I'm sorry, Professor, but in this particular field of endeavor, young Jim is the professor.
Fine. Fine.
Thank you, Mr. Legend. All right, fellas, now listen up. Right back in here is an alley where we can secure the horses and a wagon. Well, the professor and Ramos will be in the office blowing open the safe with dynamite. I'll be on this end right here, watching the townsfolk on the outside through these 2 windows. Mr. Legend, this here's gonna be you, right here, securing this area and watching the folks inside. Any questions?
Yes. Do I have to be the milkmaid?
Afternoon, good kind citizens. My name is Gentleman Jim Siringo, and this here's a holdup with a special guest appearance by Mr. Nicodemus Legend.
Thank you, Jimmy. It's great to be here. Now, folks, there's nothing to worry about. Nobody's going to get hurt. You all just relax and watch, and you'll all be in my next book. Huh?
All right, get them hands up, and let's get started by throwing all them guns to the center of the room. Move!
Yes, sir. Come on, Roscoe, let's have it. Thank you.
What the hell's this?
That's the $10,000 I stole from this here bank.
You broke into this bank to give the money back?
I don't want no money stolen from honest people.
What do you mean by that?
It means, Mr. Winslow, that we intend to find out if you embezzled $250,000 from the good people of this community. My associates will be here shortly to examine the safe in your office.
Where's the dynamite?
It's here.
What kind of dynamite is that?
It's better than dynamite. It's the Bartok smokeless nitroglycerin gelatin. More efficient, easier to detonate. The future of explosives.
It's all right, folks. I perform this demonstration at county fairs all the time. He'll be all right. And most of his hair will grow back.
That's gonna draw a lot of unwanted attention. All right. It's gonna be a hell of a lot harder to get out of here than it was to get in. We got company.
Professor?
truth shall set us free.
Come on, Winslow.
Let's go.
You better hope we find what we're looking for in that safe.
What do you think, Mr. Winslow? Any chance we'll find another set of books in there?
Here we go.
It's certainly smokeless. Quiet, too.
Damn it, Bartok! Can you open that safe or not?
Of course I can open it. It's obvious the charge in the igniters was insufficient for some reason. It's probably the wires.
You know you're in there, Jim. Walk on out now while you still can.
Professor! Compensating.
30 seconds, Jim.
Bartok! Let's go. We're all going to get killed. Can't you see that? Give this up now. And I promise, all the charges are dropped.
Yeah, well, how are you gonna get them to drop a murder charge, Mr. Winslow?
I'll tell them that Barnes was the one who shot Phillips.
He's willing to give up his partner.
Now I really want to see what's in that safe.
Me too.
I'm not willing to let this become a standoff. You tell the boys if they get a clear shot at Jim, take it.
Here we go.
So much for advancing the science of bank robbery. Good job.
Well, the trial is set for Tuesday. Marshal doesn't think that you will have to testify as he has all the evidence he needs.
And the federal attorney said he's dropping all the charges against you. Evidently, Barnes and Winslow were the big fish in all this, and you were just... well, you helped catch them.
Oh, and there's something from the bank officers that we have to show you.
Go ahead. It's a reward, Jimmy.
The bank just giving money to me? Doesn't seem like I earned it.
And there is a letter from the president of the bank apologizing for any harm that might have been done to your name.
I mentioned in passing they might be facing an interesting libel suit on your behalf. A name like yours, well, we know how important it is to protect that, don't we?
Very nice to have met you, sir.
Nice to meet you too, sir.
On our way.
Thank you, Mr. Legend.
Adios, James.
Thank you too, Mrs. Yancey. You take care now.
Admit it, Ernest. This will make a perfect legend story. The adventure is back in your heart again.
Is that what that is?
I thought it was the fish taco from the roadside vendor.
Now stay tuned as Claude Akins guest stars on Gunsmoke, next here in TV Land.
In TV Land.